Your baby is in your arms, pressed close against your chest. You sway gently. You speak softly, maybe using little sounds, simple words, tiny expressions. Your baby looks at your face, relaxes their body, and somehow seems more awake and calmer at the same time. You notice it. You wonder what it means. Most parents assume this is just comfort. The baby likes being held. But what's actually happening is both simpler and far more fascinating than that. The obvious explanation is that babies feel safe when they are close to a parent, and that's not entirely wrong. Warmth, smell, heartbeat, voice, and touch all tell a baby's nervous system you are not alone. But it only explains part of the picture, because researchers who study early development have been asking a more specific question, not just what triggers this behavior, but what it's actually doing for your baby's developing brain. This is where the Japanese approach becomes interesting. Not because Japanese parents have a magic secret, but because traditional Japanese caregiving often emphasizes closeness, responsiveness, shared attention, and emotional attunement ideas, sometimes connected to concepts like skinship and ame. In simple terms, it is the idea that a baby's brain grows through being held, noticed, responded to, and gently included in daily life. From a biological point of view, your baby is not born ready to regulate alone. Their brain is still under construction. The systems that help with attention, emotional control, stress recovery, language, and social understanding are developing through repeated experiences with you. So, when your baby is close to you, watching your face, listening to your voice, feeling your breathing, and matching your rhythm, their brain is doing more than resting. It is organizing. In 2023, researchers including Yusuke Minagawa and colleagues studied mother-infant brain synchrony in 3 to 4-month-old babies using functional near-infrared spectroscopy, a brain imaging method that can measure activity while babies are being held or fed. What they found was striking. During breastfeeding, mothers' and babies' brains showed synchronized activity in social and attachment-related brain regions, and some of these connections were linked with later language measures. In plain language, the baby's brain was not passively receiving care. It was linking with the caregiver's brain through rhythm, contact, feeding, and attention. That means one of the earliest brain-building classrooms is not a flashcard, an app, or a special toy. It is the warm, ordinary loop between your body and your baby's body. Your baby sucks, pauses, listens, looks, feels your muscles shift, hears your voice, and their nervous system begins to learn timing. This is how the brain learns. When I signal, someone responds. When I get overwhelmed, someone helps me come back. When I look, there is meaning to find. A second study gives us another layer. In 2020, Sawa Senzaki and Yuki Shimizu studied mothers in Japan and the United States during shared picture book reading with 6 to 8-month-old infants. They found that Japanese mothers were more likely to talk about relationships and interactions between things in the scene, while U.S. mothers were more likely to focus on individual objects. This matters because it suggests that early attention is not just about what a baby sees. It is shaped by how caregivers guide the baby's attention toward objects, people, relationships, and context. Sage journals. So the Japanese way here is not pressure. It is not training a baby to be advanced. It is building the brain through relational attention. Instead of only saying, "This is a dog," the caregiver may naturally create a world of connection. The dog is looking at the baby. The baby is smiling. The dog says, "Woof." The baby is not just learning vocabulary. They are learning that the world is made of relationships. What researchers found was that this seemingly simple behavior, holding, responding, narrating, and sharing attention, is actually one of the most important things your baby can do in the first year of life. Because in that first year, the brain is building the basic circuits for attention, trust, emotional regulation, and communication. Your baby's brain is constantly asking, "What matters? Where should I look? Is this safe? What does this feeling mean?" And your face, voice, touch, and timing answer those questions before your baby can understand a single sentence. This is why the idea of serve and return is so powerful. Harvard's Center on the Developing Child describes serve and return as the back-and-forth exchange where a baby makes a sound, gesture, look, or movement, and a caregiver responds with eye contact, words, touch, or expression. These repeated exchanges help build and strengthen neural connections for communication and social development. Harvard Center on Developing Child. When your baby looks at you and waits, they are essentially telling you, Help me know what this moment means. When your baby reaches toward you, they are essentially telling you, I need your body to help my body settle. When your baby babbles and you answer, they are essentially telling you, show me that my voice matters. When your baby stares at your face during a quiet moment, they are essentially telling you, I am studying you so I can understand the world. And when your baby calms after being picked up, they are not manipulating you. They are using you as a nervous system partner. That is co-regulation. Before a baby can calm themselves, they borrow calm from you. Your slower breathing, your softer voice, your steady hands, your relaxed face, all of that becomes information their brain can use. This is also why ordinary moments matter more than perfect parenting. You do not need to create a special brain development routine. Feeding, changing, carrying, bathing, walking, singing, and sitting together are already full of brain-building signals when they include warmth and responsiveness. Because the research shows that early brain development happens through repeated back-and-forth interaction, the most supportive thing you can do is respond to your baby's small signals. When they look back. When they babble, answer. When they reach, acknowledge it. You do not need a perfect sentence. Your response is the lesson. Because the research shows that closeness can organize the baby's nervous system, hold your baby without worrying that every cuddle is spoiling them. In the early months, closeness is not a bad habit. It is biological support. Because Japanese-style shared attention often emphasizes relationships and context, try narrating the connections around your baby. Not just cup, but daddy is drinking from the cup. Not just bird, but the bird flew away, and you watched it. This teaches your baby that the world has patterns, movement, and meaning. Because the brain learns through rhythm, repeats simple routines. The same song before sleep, the same warm voice during changing, the same little pause after your baby makes a sound. Repetition does not bore the baby's brain. It gives the brain something stable enough to build on. So if your baby wants to be close, watches your face, relaxes in your arms, or lights up when you respond, you are not seeing neediness. You are seeing early brain architecture being built in real time. You are not failing because your baby needs you. You are the environment their brain was designed to learn from. This behavior isn't something to fix, it's something to understand. And now that you do, you'll see it differently every time.